what's up guys? I'm Alex Maurer and welcome back to my world where everything has to do with the water. Today, we're going to be looking at how to choose fins for your river surfboard. First thing you guys want to do is figure out what kind of fin box you have on your board. It's either going to be an FCS fin box or a future style fin box. So the FCS fin boxes are going to have two tabs that you insert your fins into, and the futures fin boxes are going to have one long tab that you insert your fin into. And then after you figure out what type of fin style box you have, look at how many fin boxes are on the board to see how many fins you're going to need for your setup. When river surfing, you're surfing straight on the wave. So that allows a lot more surface area of your board to be in the water, and your fins are going to be in the water almost the whole time. So it's going to give you a lot more stability and a lot more traction right off the bat. When I like to river surf, I always like to use a twin fin setup, which is two fins, one on each side. A lot of people will surf with a quad fin setup, which is four fins, two fins on each side. I feel like that kind of setup is a little stiff when you're surfing and it locks the board in quite a bit, and I don't like the feeling of it. I like to surf with the twin fins because it gives you enough traction to be able to have stability, and then you have a lot more maneuverability and the board's a lot looser for turns and spins. If I'm surfing really short fins, I'll do a 2+1, a tri-fin setup, which is one fin on each side and then a one fin in the middle. So that works a lot to give you a little extra traction if you're using a lot shorter fins. When you guys are choosing your fins, there's three main things that you want to look for that is going to help your performance on the water. The first thing is your fin size. So fin height is going to be the measurement from the base of the fin to the highest point of the fin. The longer a fin is, the more stability and control you're going to have. If you want to make really long controlled turns, you're going to look for a longer overall fin. If you want a more skatey feel, where the board's really loose and you can spin it easy, do pop shove it's, all sorts of that stuff, look for a shorter fin length. The next thing you guys are going to want to look at is the fin base. The fin base is usually the widest point of the fin. It's going to be the part closest to where the board sits flush with the fin, so where the tabs are down here. So the wider and the longer that this piece of the fin is, the more stability, the more traction you're going to have. The longer, more arcing turns you're going to make. The shorter and more narrow that the fin base is, you can see that this smaller fin right here, it's a lot shorter overall, and it's a lot thinner than this fin right here. So the thinner and shorter that the fin base is, the more skatey your board's going to feel. You see a lot of people doing really easy 360s and pop shove-its. This is probably the style fin that they have in their board right here. The last thing that you're going to look at is flex. So all fins have flex, and they do make flex fins. Depending on where you're surfing, you might want to get a fin that has a lot of flex. That way, in case you hit a rock or something, it's going to protect the bottom of your board a lot better, and the fin will flex instead of tearing out your fin box. Even stiff fins like this have a certain amount of flex to them, but they do make like 100% like flex fins that bend over all the way. That kind of fin, it's going to break loose really easy when you're in the water, and it's not going to have as much traction when you're making your turns and stuff. So you're going to be able to do laybacks and cut the board loose a lot easier with that style of fin. Looking at those key features, it's going to help you guys determine what kind of fins you want for the style of river surfing that you want to do. If you want to do bigger turns, slower turns, go with a wider fin base and a longer fin overall. If you want a more surf skate style feeling, go with a shorter fin base and a shorter fin overall. And then you can even go somewhere in between that for a mixture of the two style surfing. The best part about trying out different fins is it's really fun to see what different fins feel like. So play around with it, see what works best for you guys. Let's go head out on the water for a little bit of surfing, man.